Good morning, folks. We are fueled up, fed, and flipping ready to go. Let's navigate it. Today is going to be especially exciting, specifically for me, because this morning I have had some rumblies in the tumblies. Anyway, the day is too nice, the weather is too gorgeous. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. You know, you already see, I'm out of the house. It is about, hey, semi, settle it down. Calm yourself. The day is too nice. I gotta get up there. It's about a 2-hour drive. You know what? This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Okay? Let's go. So if you guys haven't seen it, this earlier I released a short and sweet on traveling. And I told a story about the first time that I was out of the country. And as I am on my way to St. George, the majesty of the mountains is just like breathtaking the entire way. Now, I know I live in the Sin City Basin, the Las Vegas Valley, and it's surrounded by mountains. But there's just something that's so majestic about mountains. Like this one here, you can still see the snow caps on it. There's a bit of fog, but man, this is St. George. Pretty beautiful, huh? It was originally named after George A. Smith, a Mormon apostle. He was also known as the Potato Saint because he adamantly advised people to consume potatoes in order to fight scurvy. Potato rant. All right, you health nuts, listen up. Potatoes are not the devil's starch. In fact, they're packed with a lot of nutrients, including 3 grams of protein, 30% of your daily vitamin C, 15% of your daily calcium, and 10% of your daily B6. Okay, they've been consumed for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Originally found in Peru, roughly 8,000 BC. Hey Jack, sorry, the Irish didn't invent potatoes, so y'all need to lay off. Another interesting fact, our good old friend Benjamin Franklin, you remember him? Yeah, he originally introduced French fries to America in 1802 in the White House. Thank God for the Founding Fathers. However, George did not settle the town himself. You see, he handpicked the best of the best and sent them here to start getting things built. But before that, we all know there's a little bit of history. We have arrived at the first location. Sort of. I'm not sure if I can be back here. I didn't see any private property or no trespassing signs. So I'm gonna keep driving back. Oh yeah, here we go. Anasazi Valley Trailhead. Awesome. So that right there is gonna bring us to our first bit of history on St. George, Utah. About 2,000 years before St. George, or George Smith, sent the troop of Mormons into the river valley here to settle it, there lived the Virgin River Anasazi people. And I'm not joking, their first recorded history in this area was about 200 BC. They were a dry farming community, which means they relied on the moisture in the soil to farm their crops. I couldn't find much on how the actual process works, but what I can put together from the small amount of knowledge I have about farming is that they would wait until the end of winter, early spring, where the ground is the most moist, and that's when they would do their planting, and allow each of the plants to grow and mature and then harvest them before the summer heat burns them. From what I could find, the Virgin River Anasazi people were fairly peaceful, just small Puebloan communities that farmed, and as you can see here, did some stone art. Now these etchings are at the end of the Anasazi River Valley Trailhead. And the community embraces this. They have the trailhead set up, and they have right over here the you know, those like welcome informational signs. So they're very aware that this is up here. And unfortunately, the most interesting tidbit about the Anasazi people is their departure. Nothing can be found. No one knows why. They have a rough idea that it was between 1100 and 1200 AD. So they just chilled out for 1400 years, and then we're like, peace. In around 1100 AD, the Paiute people moved into the area and still have a reservation today, somewhere in that direction. I'm actually hoping, while I'm doing my filming today, that I might run into somebody that can give me some more information. Maybe find some of the natives and see if they have any stories about the area. See what happens. Hey guys, check it out. St. George has a big D. 1776 marked another important year for this area as two Franciscan priests came through, trying to make their way from Santa Fe to Monterey. The Antanasio Dominguez and Sylvester de Velez de... I can't say, I gotta use the paper, right? I can't say his name. Sylvester Velez de Escalante came through the area. Driving around, I came across this beautiful place. And this is the historic town square, full of all these statues. The first statue that you saw is Sarah Sturtevant Levitt. He was born in Lyme, New Hampshire to Lemuel and Priscilla. The family descended from Pilgrim stock. The first progenitor who arrived in the New World was Samuel Sturtevant. Sarah, what's a progenitor? You're no help. With the exception of trappers and government surveyors, after the two priests had left, the area remained fairly undisturbed. Then, in 1854, disciples of the Church of Latter-day Saints settled the area and created an Indian mission to promote peace between the West and the Native Americans. Most notably of those was Jacob Hamlin. This was his home. It was built in 1863 with resources gathered from the area, and if you haven't heard of Jacob Hamlin, he's best known for his abilities at peacekeeping. I believe it was 1870 he was called by, I think, General Powell to Fort Defiance in New Mexico to settle some disagreements in the area. Now, I'm sure that most of you are not like me and you find massive fascination in architecture, but I wanted to show you guys this. So this right here, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The fascinating thing about the LDS church, what do you guys think it is? Anybody? Throw it in the comments. The fascinating thing is, they all look exactly the same. If you see here, they have a wide, low-range roof and a center white steeple. Every single one is built almost the exact same way. They at least have the same form. You know, the size might be a little different. Maybe the entrance is in a different location because of zoning. But every single one. Just like this guy. Like I said, white steeple right in front. Lower ceiling. Not a really big angle on the roof. They're really not about any like huff and guff, you know, big showmanship for building their churches. As with any new settlement, however, St. George did not have an easy start. You see, the church was trying to set up experimental crops and see what could really grow here, but between floods and drought, nothing really worked out. 1861 marked the year the church moved into textiles, building a cotton factory with the beginning of the Civil War. Southern individuals seeking refuge from the war moved to the area and were very welcomed with their experience in cotton. The factory produced intermittently for 50 years, even attempting to produce silk around 1874. I found a thing. I thought the Tiger King was in like Louisiana or Alabama. Was he in Utah? Nah. Alright, I'm gonna go over there and check it out. Well, folks, I have some unfortunate news. Bam. Maybe it's good news for you guys. The Tiger King's house is for sale. The gate is closed. There are signs saying that I cannot drive up there. So it was listed as a museum, which would be interesting, but doesn't look like that's the case any longer. Shame. Shame. With its deep Native American and Mormon history, St. George really has a desirable quality about it. It's pretty quiet, it's very clean. There's not a huge skyscrapers messing up the landscape. And from what I can tell, the people are pretty nice. I only talked to the girl at the gas station and the people on the trail. So I guess I did kind of talk to quite a few people. From what I understand, this area is actually becoming very popular for retirees that are looking for a second home. It's about 86 degrees right now. There's not much humidity. It's a pretty nice day. I saw some people out enjoying their pools. I bet this is a great vacation spot. So that's it. That's St. George, Utah. Pretty neat, interesting little town. Has a firm grasp on its history with the Hamblin building you saw. And it continues to grow. There's several construction projects on the way I saw on the way over here where they're giving a modern take on the classic Pueblo style home, which is really nice to see that they're embracing their history, the heritage that's in the area, and keeping it alive. You know, originally I was going to do this closing by the welcome sign to St. George, but I decided here at my first stop that once I got up here, because it was about a 2-mile hike to get up here, that I had to do it here. That this should be the closing. Just look at that. The almost bronzed mountainsides, the green trees and fields, and the buildings. It seems like the people of St. George really respect the landscape, not building massive skyscrapers to just block out everything. What more can you ask for? We were given this land to take care of, and it seems like the people of St. George are really doing that. So anyway, if you guys like this, you know what to do. Click that like, the subscribe, and ring that bell like a gong so you don't miss the next episode. Cheers, and stay healthy.